How's it going, everyone? Here we are with another type of video where we're going to talk about the new incoming bans coming on Monday, December 4th. So for those who have already, heard the news, there's going to be bans coming for both Modern and Pioneer. So have you noticed, for those who have been kind of, watching my content, I, played a lot of Modern, and I've gone back and forth between Modern and Pioneer. So if you have a preference on what format you want me to play, please write this in the comments. This is where I'll really, cater towards my audience here. Like most of my Discord has been very active with Pioneer, and Modern's really kind of dormant, honestly. So I'm leaning towards playing Pioneer. But if you want to get Modern content, please write in the comments, and I'll dedicate some time to play some Modern. If you want Pioneer content, definitely let me know. So this is where I'm gonna cater towards my audience. Like I said, please let me know what you want. So we're gonna go over the weekly MTG stream, kind of go over the key time points that they talk about, and then kind of go from there.
Clearly, with Lost Caverns, the Discover decks are all over the place. Amalia has a cool little Wild Growth Walker combo deck. So lots happening. But again, we want this to be a fun, replayable format. Losing on turn 3 all the time, when your opponent just casts one card, it's not that fun. If you can never go over the top of your opponent, or they always have the perfect sideboard card, sort of out of the mono green deck, not that fun. So yes, there's going to be changes to the format. You'll have to wait until Monday.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of information right there. Dan on the right mentioned 2 cards. The first card is dying on turn 3. So I think this is a huge hint at Geological Appraiser, and based on the data that has been generated from the RCs, the Geological Appraiser actually has a pretty decent win rate. It's like over 50%, it's like 53 or something like that. The Quintorius Can version has gotten like 35% or something like that. So the win rate of that deck is definitely on the lower end. So there's a huge hint that they're planning to ban Geological Appraiser, because that's a card that can combo on turn 3 because you play a ramp spell on turn 2, make a treasure on turn 2, untap turn 3, slam the 1-card combo and win. The surprising card that he mentioned was KARN the Great Creator, where he was hinting at there's a card in mono green that you can get your perfect cyber card, play it. And this is where I think many of us are clamoring for something to be banned in mono green, whether it's Nykthos or KARN the Great Creator. So it's nice to hear that they heard that voice. They were mentioning how watched the whole stream about having fun, and getting mono green is not very fun. So I'm glad they cater towards that, listened, and it sounds like they're gonna ban KARN the Great Creator. So I'm really, really excited to hear that. I'm excited to see Black Green Rock's positioning from there, because Mono Green is definitely one of the bad matchups in the format. So taking away KARN, I still think Mono Green will still be good. Stuff like Cavalier, Kiora, Storm the Festival, Ogre Troll, I think, like, as a mono green go bigger stompy deck, I think the deck is still good. Like, there's plenty of times against mono green where you just lose against that kind of beat down plan. Like, it's still a good deck. I'm sure KARN is still a huge hole to fill, which I don't think will be very difficult to, because there's plenty of other green cards you could play. There's a lot of good just general green planeswalkers that are also going to be really difficult to deal with, like any of the Nissas, the Vivians, etc., etc. So how the deck adapts will probably be just leaning towards how the meta will be, of course, as with any other deck. But having them not have the perfect sideboard card, like as I mentioned, will at least help us in a matchup, and the deck will still, of course, drop in popularity. Of course, there's still be people that love that deck, will play the deck without KARN, and that's fine. I think the deck is still fine without KARN, and I think this is a nice change moving forward. I think it makes us playing BGX, a better position, because I think KARN is the easiest way for them to beat us. So
with the ban list, we're always looking, we're always constantly looking at the ban list, and we're also thinking about things that we could possibly release from the ban list when we're talking about BNR with Pioneer. So it's important to keep in mind that the streak goes both ways. We can take things away. We can also give things back. So definitely keep that in mind when you're thinking about BNR.
So there they just mentioned a possible unban, which is really, really interesting. This is the Pioneer ban list that is currently up. Um, and honestly, I really don't know what card they could really ban, or sorry, unban. I mean, there is Leyline of Abundance and Smuggler's Copter are kind of my like knee jerk reactions. I mean, if they ban Karn and give Leyline of Abundance to Mono Green, I like as a way as like a consolation prize, maybe. And I think Smuggler's Copter is still really good. I know a lot of people have been kind of downplaying Smuggler's Copter on Twitter, saying, "Oh, it's not good anymore." I don't think that's necessarily true. I still think Smuggler's Copter is great. I think this is the type of card that you slot in any of the aggro decks and the mid range decks. Like as a black green rock, like I don't know if I would necessarily play Reckoner Bankbuster over this. I think I would rather have Smuggler's Copter just as a way to filter draws, as a way for us to like play Sentinel of the Nameless City, which has been a slam dunk since the Lost Caverns Ixalan's release. We map, we draw a land, and then we crew Smuggler's Copter, attack with Smuggler's Copter, discard the land, draw a card. Like, I think Smuggler's Copter is rightfully on the ban list. I really don't think there'll be any unbans. I think that was really more from a philosophical standpoint. But I wouldn't be surprised if they did make action. I guess like either way, I'm not really comfortable making any kind of bets or guesses on what they're going to do here. I think the only two cards that I really can think of them thinking about unbanning is Leyline or Smuggler's Copter. Maybe Kethis as a way to unleash another combo, deck that in a format that's really lacking combo outside of, Lotus Field. I don't know. I think the unban part is definitely up in the air for sure.
It didn't look like the metagame has adapted very well to, the black-red deck's dominance. And, even the deck right under that, which is the 4-color Omnath deck, now using the Up the Beanstalk card, also has at least one card in common. So, yeah, we thought, well, now it sounds like a good time to change that.
So they talked about how there's a card that's shared between 4C and Scam, and that is Fury. So Fury looks like the type of card that is going to get banned. They kind of hinted at that. That's the only card that's shared between Scam and 4C that's notable that people have been kind of clamoring towards. They also mentioned this next couple here about 1 toughness creatures.
And then on the other end, with cards like Up the Beanstalk, where no matter how you kind of cast it, you're just getting immense value. And it's keeping a lot of 1 toughness creatures at bay, that with the Bowmasters as well. Yep. So it's pretty clear something should be done. We want, again, as many decks as possible. We want as many cards to be an option for you as possible. And if we have all these cards that are saying don't play 1 toughness creatures, well, what is that keeping away?
Right.
1 toughness creatures?
Yes.
Is there
Yeah.
1 toughness creatures? Okay, great. All right. Okay, so let's be clear. Are there changes coming to Modern on Monday?
You can expect changes
Yes, there
to
will
Modern
be changes in Modern.
on Monday.
So that's the part that I can't really decipher where they're kind of discussing about 1 toughness creatures. I can't tell if they're just talking about Fury still, or if they're talking about another card, because they're saying there's multiple cards that decentivize 1 toughness creatures. So in my opinion, a card that really decentivizes 1 toughness creatures is not Fury and it's not Bowmasters, it's Wrenn and 6. So if they really, really wanted to open the 1 toughness creatures in the format, I really think they should ban Wrenn and 6. It does suck, if you're on the draw, you play a 1-drop and then they just Bowmasters it and they have 2 bodies in play and you don't have anything. That does suck. But what's the thing about those, like, if they have a Bowmasters in play, on turn 2, you can just redeploy another, like, Lanarel for a Noble Hierarch, and then just proceed with your turn. If there's a Wrenn and 6 in play on turn 2, and you're on the draw, you go Torrent Dork, they Wrenn and 6 kill your Dork. If you have another Mana Dork in your hand, you can't deploy it. So I honestly think that from just based on that context, Wrenn and 6 should be banned before, Bowmasters. But I don't know if that's really what they're talking about. Maybe they'll ban all 3, or are they really just talking about Fury? I really can't tell. I don't know.
Say we haven't really gotten back to that cadence of maintenance that it requires. Because it doesn't have a natural exit point for its cards, and only the strongest cards from Standard really get there. And we want that. We want you to have a place to play your Standard cards when they rotate. It's just going to require more caretaking from us. And so our plan is to use the sort of cadence we just described, where there's a restricted window after every set, to really take better care of the format.
So based on that, they're talking about more cadences. And for those who aren't aware, the next BNR announcement that's after this will be March 11th. So that's in about 4 months. So for those who didn't play Pioneer at Assumption, they actually had a pretty freaking ban announcement. I felt like when they first made Pioneer, they would just like let it kind of play out. First ban fetch lands, of course. And they're like, oh, they saw this deck go good, ban. Oh, you don't like this card, ban. Teferi, Veil of Summer, Smuggler's Copter, Leyline. Like, they just like went ham on banning things, which I actually kind of liked because it kind of rotated the format while still you got to like adapt to the meta and keep the cards that you're playing with, because it didn't necessarily kill the decks necessarily. So I think I just wanted to cover that bullet point because I feel like after this announcement, if Pioneer is still kind of a shit show, I wouldn't be surprised if they slam something again in 4 months, which is a good thing. I think this is I don't think they should be shy banning things, because I think the sacrifice of losing a personal investment to gain equity and fun, a format that's engaging, that people want to play, the payoff is better. Is it a little discouraging getting your card banned? Sure. But I think that with Pioneer, I feel like there's just so much brewing and potential that can be tapped in with the card pool, that I'd rather ban things like KARN, ban things like Fable, Treasure Cruise, Lotus Field, as a way to kind of open the format a little bit more. I feel like there's a lot of cards that are in like that top 1% of like power level that push everything down. Like Fable. Oh, okay. It's a really, really, really good mid-range card. What's the next best mid-range card after Fable? There's a huge disparity. There's a big delta there. So, banning Fable opens up other mid-range decks. It opens up Rock. It opens up Soul Tide, Jund, Gruul, Rack. You know, it doesn't just take away Rakdos. I feel like Orzhov. Like, I think just having a like de facto best mid-range deck, and that's it. There's like the next mid-range deck. Is there even a tiered mid-range deck in Pioneer other than Rakdos? There isn't. So the fact that there's that much of a disparity is why I wouldn't be unhappy if they just kind of was pretty liberal with these bans. Lotus Field, right? Is Lotus Field the best combo deck? I think that there should be other, decks that could be viable, right? Like having a diverse metagame, having kind of parity across the board of power level is, I think, the ideal state of any format, right? Where you can really play any deck that you want and have a chance to win. I don't think you should be pigeonholed into playing a specific deck or a specific archetype or a specific color set just because of, this powerful card that's in this specific color or non-color, right? So that'll do it for me for this video. If you like this type of content, please like the video, write a comment on your thoughts. Like I mentioned in the beginning, if you want to watch specifically Pioneer content or modern content, please let me know, because I will cater towards that. As of right now, I'm planning to just stream Pioneer for now, based on my assumptions of what the BNR will be. But if you want modern content, definitely voice your opinion. If I literally get no comments about Pioneer, then I will play modern content, right? So like, if from your perspective, just please leave a comment on what you want to see. I'm really excited for Monday, because I think Lost Caverns Exelon provide a lot of new cards that are really interesting, at least from Black and Rot's perspective. Like, we already got Sentinel Nameless Lady, which is fantastic. I think banning the combo deck is going to be nice. And then just not having to deal with Karn from Mono Green is going to be excellent. So I'm really, really excited. Hope you all are too. I hope to catch everyone next time, and hope you all watch the upcoming videos with these updated ban lists. Take care, everyone. Bye.